ඒ වගේම ප්‍රබල ක්‍රීඩකයන් හතුව තිබුණු නායකයෙක් ගණනාවක් නැහැ මේ තරගාවලිය. මේ තරගයේ
එක ලකුණක් ලබා ගන්නවා. විලාලගේ තරමක් පැය කිලෝමීටර් 90ක පමණ වේගයෙන් පන්දු යවන්නේ. සාමාන්‍ය දඟ පන්දු යවන්නේ අපි වෙනද දකින්නේ තරමක් හිමින් පන්දු යවන්නේ. මෙච්චර වේගයෙන් පන්දු යවන්නේ. නමුත් දැන් මේ නූතන යුගයේ ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වෙනස් වෙලා තිබෙනවා.
ඔව් අෆ්රිඩි තමයි මේක වෙනස් කළේ. ඔය 102ක වේගයකින් පන්දුවක් යවුමත් සමග තමයි වේගය. ඒ වගේ එක් දින තරග වෙලට ඉතා වේගය ඉතාමත් හොඳයි. හැබැයි දඟ කැවීමක් තිබෙන්නට ඕන.
ඒකත් පිටිකරු ඉඩ ලබාගෙන පහරක් එන්න කරන්න පුළුවන්. දුර්වල පන්දුවක්.
පැහැදිලිව දුර්වල පන්දුව. හරි ස්ථානයේ පන්දුව පතිත වුණේ. ඒ තමයි බලාගත් හරියට පන්දුව පසුපස පාදයට ගොස් තමයි පහර එල්ල කරන්න ස්කාඩ් රයි පාර. එක්ෂකවී පන්දු රකින්නට ඒකෙල්ලේ පන්දු රැකීමේ අවස්ථාවක් නැහැ. විශේෂයෙන් පන්දුරේ දැන් අවසන් වෙන ආර්පෙන් දාස ජාත්‍යන්තර ක්‍රීඩා පිළිවෙල 115යි විකට් 3යි බංග්ලාදේශය කාසිය වාසිය ලබා ගනිමින්.
මෙතෙන්නේ ලකුණු ලබා ගැනීම පිළිබඳව සැකවින් ප්‍රස්ථාරයක් ලකුණු 115යි විකට් 3යි එක වරම ලකුණු ගැනීමේ වේගය අඩු වෙලා තිබෙනවා අපිට පේනවා ඇති 19 වෙනි සහ 20 වෙනි ඕවර 20 වෙනි ඕවරේ යම් ප්‍රමාණයක් තිබෙනවා. නමුත් විකට්ටුවක් ලබා ගන්නවා. ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී හසරංග දැන් නැවතත් හසරංගම තමයි. ඔහු තමයි මේ ප්‍රධානම
මේඩන් විකට් ලබා
ගන්න. දැන් මේක මේ ඕවරේත් තීරණයි. මොකද ඔහු
හරි ස්ථානයේ පන්දු පතිත වුණේ. ඒ තමයි
රිද්මේ ලබා ගන්නට පසුව
බලාගත් හරියට
ඩ්‍රයිව් පහරයි. කෙලින්ම මිඩ් ඔෆ් වෙත පන්දු යන්නේ.
ඔව් විශේෂයෙන්ම හසරංග එක් දින තරග අතරේ ගත්න කල විකට් 104ක් අද දිනේ මේ විකට්ටුවත් පමණ සමග ලැබෙනවා. ඔහුට හන්ටින් ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් මා දකින්න හැටියට පසුගිය තරගයේදී විකට් 4ක් හිමි කර ගන්නා විකට් දඩයම් කර ක්‍රීඩකයා වුණා ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී. බංග්ලාදේශ කණ්ඩායම සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම තලලා පොඩි කරලා දාපු මැදපළ ශක්තිමත්ම පන්දියව එක් දින තරග අතරේ ගත්න කල විකට් 104ක් ලබාගෙන මේ විකට්ටුවත් පමණ සමග ලැබෙනවා.
හොඳ පන්දුවක් ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී කෙලින්ම ආක්‍රමණය කළේ
තරගයේදී විකට් 4ක් හිමි කර ගන්නා
මැද ඉන්නමයි කිසිවක් කරන්නට විදිහක් නැහැ. පන්දු 41ක් තුල තාම 4 පහරක් නැහැ. මේ යම්කිසි පීඩනයක් බංග්ලාදේශ කණ්ඩායමට 22 වෙනි ඕවරේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වන්නේ.
ඒකම විශේෂයෙන් අපි කතා කළ යුතුයි. දඟපන්දයීම මේ මොහොතේදී වේතන තිරේ මෙහෙම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා නම් දකුම් කළු ස්ලොට් සිප් පහර කෙලින්ම පන්දුව මිඩ් විකට් හරහාදී අපට සලස්සමින් පැහැදිලිව ලකුණු 4ක් ලබා ගැනීමට සමත් වෙනවා. ඊට විශිෂ්ට පහරක් හැටියට සඳහන් කිරීම මෙහෙඩි හසන් මිරාස් නායකයා තමාගේ නෙතාබියස් පන්දුව පත් වෙද්දී ඒ ස්ලොට් සිප් පහර එල්ල කරමින් මේ පුනරුත්පන්න දකින්නේ තාමත් සාර්ථකව ඔහු පහර එල්ල කිරීමට සමත් වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ස්ථානගත කිරීමත් තාමත්ම නිවැරදි. මා කතා කරමින් සිටේ හසරංග ඉදිරියේදී ඊටමත් බොහොම කල්පනාවෙන් පන්දුවට පහර දීම තුල දඟ පන්දයවන්නන්ගේ රජදහනක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ තනතිරුව. ලකුණු 250ක් ලබා ගත්තොත් හොඳ අභියෝගයක් ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමට.
නැවතත් ඉදිරිපාදෙන් එක්ස්ට්‍රා කවර් දෙසට මේ පන්දු එන්නේ. 121යි හසරංගගේ 4 වෙනි පන්දු වරේ ලකුණු 4ක් පමණයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. එකක් නිලකුණු ඕරක් කියවයි කුත් ඕවරේ. තාමත් හොඳ පන්දුවක් නැවතත්
පැහැදිලිව වීඩියෝ අවබෝධ කරගන්නට බැරුණා. තමයි දකුණත් පිටිකරුවා තමයි ඕදි විකට් ආකාරයටම පන්දුව යවමින් ලබා දුන්න ඒ පන්දුව ඔහුගේ මිඩ්ලන් ලෙග් පන්දුව පත් වීම අද දඟ කැවීමකට පෙර ආතුව ඔහු අගේන්ස් පහර එල්ල කරුවේ දඟ කැවීමට විරුද්ධව ෆ්ලික්ට් වේ පන්දුව ඉතා අසාර්ථක ෆ්ලික් කිරීම ස්කාලෙක් හරහා පන්දුව ඇදී අපට සලස්සන පැහැදිලිවම වෙලා පන්දුව රැගෙන එල්ල කරන පහසුවෙන් ලකුණක් ලබා ගන්නවා. අවසන් වන්නේ 22 වෙනි පන්දුව 122යි 3යි බංග්ලාදේශය.
ඕන එක ලකුණ බැගින් ලබා ගන්නවා. 4 පහරවල් පිළිබඳව තාම උන්ට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. නමුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් අනිවාර්යෙන් ඇති වෙන්නේ මේ ආකාරයෙන්ම ලකුණු දෙක බැගින් ලබා දෙමින් ඕවර් ප්‍රමාණය සම්පූර්ණ ගෙවා දමනවා. එතන තමයි ප්‍රශ්නයක් මතුවෙන්නේ. මෙන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකා පන්දු කරන ශක්තිය විශේෂයෙන්ම අසිත ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ තමයි පටන් ගත්තේ. විකට් ලබා ගැනීම පන්දු
වේගයකින් වේගමත පන්දු යොමු කරනවා අද දිනේ.
ශමීර 142ක වේගයෙන් යොමු කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒක දඟ පන්දු යවුනොත් යවන්නොත් නිකන් මද ඒක පන්දියවන්න වගේ පන්දියවල තියෙන.
අවම වේගය 130ක් ශමීරගේ අනවශ්‍ය වේගයක් හඳවාගෙනීමට යාමෙන් තමයි ප්‍රහාරයට ලක් කරන ශමීර කැඳවා තිබෙන මේ මොහොතේදී පන්දයාවේ සටහන අපි දකිනවා සමග හුවෙන්නේ පන්දු පිටිය සැකසී වෙදී කුසල් මෙන්ඩි සහාය ලබා දෙනවා. පොයින්ට් එක්ස්ට්‍රා කවර් ෂෝට් එක්ස්ට්‍රා කවර් දෙස පන්දු රැකීම සඳහා කැඳවනවා. කවිදු පෙරලාලගේ පන්දු රකින්නේ. චරිතාසලංක පන්දු රකිනවා මේ මොහොතේදී වයිඩ් මිඩ් ඔෆේ සිපකවි පන්දු රකින්නේකු වනිදු හසරංක ශමීර තමත් සාර්ථකයි බලන්න soft hand එක පහර එල්ල කරන්න ඒක තමයි විශේෂක්
ඔව් third man දෙසට පහසුයි.
ඔව් තමන්ගේ ක්‍රීස් එකේ සිට soft hand පහර එල්ල කරමින් යට අතේ තරම් උපයෝගී කරගන්නේ නැහැ. යාන්ත්‍රමින් තට්ටු කරමින් වේගය උපයෝගී කරගත්තා. මේ එක ලකුණ බැගින් කතා කරන හිටියේ කැලොම් ඇස්සෙම එක ලකුණ බැගින් ලබාගෙන ඉඳ හිට 4-5ක් වැඩිමත් එක පන්දුවරයකදී ලකුණු 6ක වේගයක් ලබා ගන්නවා කියන්නේ එක් දින තරගයක රාත්‍රී කාලයේ පන්දුවට පහර දීමේදී පසුගිය තරග හා සසඳා බලන විට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ඒතරම් සුන්දර නැහැ.
ගින්දර වගේ.
ගින්දර වගේ.
ශමීර. නැවතත් පායින් ආක්‍රමණය වන්නේ. outside the leg stump සෑහෙන වයිඩ් පන්දුවක් සංඥා වෙන්න තිබෙන ඊට ප්‍රස්තාව වැඩි. පිටිකරු ළඟින් ගියත් ටෙස්ට් තරගයක නම් මේක දෙන්නේ නැහැ වයිඩ් පන්දුවක් හැටියට. නමුත් මේ තීන නීති රීති අනුව පිටිකරුට පහරක් නිර්මාණය කරගන්න බැරි නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන් වයිඩ් පන්දුව.
ඔව් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම පායින් පන්දුව ඇද තාමත් තීව්‍ර හැක් යොදාගෙන සිටින විශේෂයෙන්ම විනිසුරුවන් උචර පල්ලේගුරු මේ අන්තයේ විශ්ලේෂණා කටයුතු කරමින් සිටින්නේ ඔහු ගේ විනිශ්චය තාමත් සාර්ථක විනිශ්චයකාරයෙක් තරගේ පසඳින්න අතරේ ලෝකයේ ඉහළ තැනක සිටිනවා. ඒ වගේම කුමාර ධර්මසේන ශ්‍රී ලංකාව නියෝජනය කරමින් තාසු විශේෂ ස්ථානවල රැඳී සිටින තමගේ කාර්යභාරය
පෞද්ගලිකව අපි දැක්ක ප්‍රගීත් රඹුක් වැල්ල ඉතාමත්
සම්මානයෙන් කර ගන්නවා. ඔබමයි මම හිතන්නේ නිවේදන කටයුතු කළේ.
ඔව් ඒ මොකද මේ ඔහුගේ හොඳ දියුණුවක් දක්වන
සාර්ථක ඩ්‍රයිව් කිරීම. කෙලින්ම පන්දුව ඇදී යනවා හතරේ සීමාව අසන්නට පන්දුව රැක ගන්නවා එක අතකින් පෙරලා එල්ල කරනවා. ඒ පහසෙන්ම ලකුණු දෙකක් ලබා ගන්න. කෙටි පන්දුවක් ලැබුණේ. ඒ ඉතාම සාර්ථකයි. මෙන්න මේ තමයි පිටිකරණේ තියෙන විශේෂත්වය. පන්දුවේ ගමන් මගට මෙහිදී පැමිණියා. ඒ ලබාගත් හරි ස්ථානයත් ඒ වගේ ගැප් එක හොයා ගැනීම ඉතාම වැදගත්නේ. මොන බලන්නේ පුනරුපන දකින බලන්න හරි මුහුණට යොදා ගන්නවා පන්දුවට.
හිදෙස ස්ථානගත කිරීම තාමත් සාර්ථකයි. දැක්ක කිරගෙන
දැක්ක
ශමීර අන්න හොඳ පන්දුව වේගය තරමක්
change of pace
අඩු කොට යවන්නත් මේ තමයි උපක්‍රමශීලීත්වය කිලෝමීටර් 114යි පැයකට
මේක තමයි වේ යුත්තේ. තාමත්ම පිටිකරුවාට මානසිකත්වයට යම් කිසි විදියක පීඩනයක් දෙන්නට නම්
Roshan, I think a huge moment. Bangladesh having won their first game against Sri Lanka earlier at the Premadasa, and they'll be full of good spirits and coming back from behind. That was the important thing in coming back and making a statement. And they need to do that because they're lounging at the bottom of the ICC rankings, need to be up at number 8 if you want to qualify automatically for the World Cup. So a lot of things going in favor of Bangladesh, but they've got to play well today.
So how important was that Tamim spell? 5 for 39, just rather Tanvir. He just bowled brilliantly. Came from virtually behind. Sri Lanka was looking good. Kusal Mendy's going after the bowling, and what a turnaround.
Absolutely, I think he was marvellous. And he had that wonderful support. The two other, Shamim Hussain and Mehdi Hassan Miraj, were drawing out the runs. So when you talk about a group of spinners playing together, one end being held up, he took the advantage. He bowled beautifully, and he got those wickets. The 5 for very important. Only his second game will lift his spirits. And as you said, coming back after 17, he gave away in the first 2 overs, and then coming back so strongly and taking the 5 wickets was an absolutely top-class task, and that is to be replicated by him and the other spinners when they play here today.
No doubt indeed. So once again, well, we do know that there's so much of emphasis on the toss. So Russell Arnold is out there with the 2 captains and the match referee for the all-important toss, as I said.
There's a bit of tension around, and that's how we like it at the start of a game. The reason for that, of course, it's the series decider between these two teams. Out here for the toss, Charita Salanka, Sri Lanka's captain, Mehdi Hassan Miraj, Bangladesh's captain, and Andy Pycroft, Our match referee, Charit, will spin the coin. Head.
It's a tail.
We are batting. We are batting.
Well, there we go, Charit. You're batting first. How do you read the pitch and what would you like as a score?
It looks like usual pitch in Kandy, and I was thinking 280 will be fast going here.
Can you chase down 280?
I think wicket looks good, and yes, the history said the wicket is good, and 280 is sageable wicket.
Well, even Stevens there. Then team news for you, Medimus.
Yeah, definitely we're going to field fast because sometimes dew is coming. I think it's been too much this wicket, and yes, we take the advantage as well.
Any team news changes?
Yes, we got on changes. Hassan is not playing, replacement. Taskin is coming.
How about your team?
We are going with same level.
How do you see this game? A position you haven't been in a while. You've always been in front. The series on the line.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and we just want to forget last night. It was a tough night for us, and we just want to come back really well. Always good teams does.
Opportunity for you, Mehdi, to achieve something you haven't done before in Sri Lanka, a series.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great opportunity for us. We never got series in Sri Lanka, but it's a great opportunity. Boys are very excited about this match, and hopefully everybody get to perform so well. If we perform well, definitely win this match.
Well, go on, boys. Entertain us then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Sri Lanka, they won the toss and they have decided to bat first. That's what we have from the centre.
Right, Sri Lanka batting first. Let's take a look at the Sri Lankan side. It is an unchanged team now. Sri Lanka just trusting that top order and the middle order and depending on those seam bowlers with a lot of spin from Wanindu Hasaranga. There is also Mais Dixana who bowls spin, so and the ambidextrous and Dunit Velalagi, of course. But what about Bangladesh? What's changed for them?
Yes, one of the expected changes, Taskin Ahmed, I think, was he was being managed. Workload management was the reason why he didn't play in the last game, but he'll be an important cog in the wheel. He needs to start off with a spirited work. I think he's the one who leads the pace battery in Bangladesh.
হ্যালো এবার কথা আসে এবারে কথা আসে এবার আইছে হ্যালো আইছে এই হ্যালো আসে আইছে কিরকম আছে আমার দাঁড়িয়ে আইছে একটু দাঁড়িয়ে এসে দেখা হ্যালো হ্যালো
batting first. They're going with the trend in the series. Put the runs on the...
হ্যালো কেমন আছো? মিম তুমি কেমন আছো? টেস্ট 1 2 3 4 5 6
Yeah, you're right. He's susceptible. Once the ball is bending back towards middle stump, he had his problems.
Not convincing, but it's been a very good start for Sri Lanka. 7 for no loss. Sri Lanka unchanged. One change for Bangladesh. Yeah, there he is, Taskin back in the team for Hassan Mahmood.
Well, you'd have to say his contribution with the bat in the second ODI played a big part in Bangladesh crawling back or clawing themselves back into the series. Tanzim. He does pick up useful wickets. Starts off with a wide though.
Yeah, Taskim from one end and Tanzim from the other end. What we have seen of him in this series, he can hurry the batter. Tanzim Hassan Saqib. Plenty of support for Bangladesh throughout the series, even in the test matches.
Bowling a lot straighter. And they do a lot of homework these days. Nissanka in the second ODI, Tanzim got him trapped in front. Once again, those wooden legs caught on the crease. The average is just 13 when bowled at the stumps. Yep, slightly outside the off stump, and that is what we're used to seeing from Nissanka. So many of those.
But that shot from Nissanka tells me this is a very good pitch to bat on. In the second over, he decided he can trust the pitch and can hit the ball on the up. And when you're looking to hit the ball on the up, you do not need plenty of footwork. Just stand tall and hit the ball through the line.
Yeah, bowl straight. That's where he's been struggling, and we were just about to illustrate where his strengths were. And that shot totally tells you the story. You bowl short to him, he's so good. But this is where you can work him out. His base so good, or square of the wicket on either side. He'll punish you.
Yeah, as an opener, you've got to be very good on the onside because you have to show the awareness of your off stump. You have to keep on leaving the ball, which he didn't. And then this kind of a delivery should have clipped away on the onside. That's the strength of the openers we are talking about. You know, keep on leaving the ball outside the off stump, force the ball within the stumps, and then as a batsman you take charge. But it's surprising to see that weakness which you pointed out, Russell.
Just as we saw in Colombo, renewable energy. Fabulous initiative. Now, I consider myself a smart guy, but I wouldn't have thought of this either. Generate power, protect the environment. How good.
That's why you are not called a genius. Good ideas, they are always welcomed.
Well, for none. High Performance Centre, the centre of excellence here in Kandy. All Sri Lanka cricket's venues. Well, the facilities are top class. Not only the pitches, but also for recovery, injury, treatments. Covering all bases to allow youngsters, the national players, the best possible facilities. Oh, he wasn't ready, right? Tuskin had started running in, and Madhushka took a long time to get his head down, and with the shot, he just wasn't sure.
Well, he should have walked away. Backed away, I should have said.
কমেন্টে আমি একটা কমেন্ট লিংক দিয়েছি, ভয় পাবেন না সেটা।
Yes, he was eager to bowl and start the over, the skin. But here, see, he was very lucky not to nick it.
That was a cardinal error from Madhushka. They're not ready, pull away.
Covering all bases too.
Yeah, after providing a room outside the off stump, the skin in his first over, he's looking to bowl wicket to wicket. He's changed the line. It looks threatening at the moment.
What a beautiful day here. In Kandivia, in Pallekele, amongst the hills. How about that for a shot? The crowd will pick up. Told it's sold out. It is Tuesday afternoon, in fact, so people will head down straight after work.
They're just waiting for sun to stop flaring down.
Not as hot or humid as in Colombo, though. Solar panels on the umbrella?
For what?
Nah. Slip in a gully. Mehdi should give all the support to Tuskin because he's bowling well. And the Sri Lankan openers, their footwork not convincing at all.
Watch this.
Yet to get off the mark, Madhushka.
Make a UGC-style ad promoting coffee.
Tired of sugary sodas that leave you feeling sluggish?
What's up, guys? My name is Sam.
Fair to all these Maharoof.
And click OK. And I have this thing created called test. And what I'm gonna do, this.
Oh, he gets that through. It's going down all the while though.
There's so many ways to do it, but this one is by using the scroll text feature within OBS. So let's get right into it. So basically, I have my camera feed open within OBS right now, and I have this thing created called test. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to sources, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a text, and I'm gonna call it scroll, and click OK. We're gonna go ahead and choose a font that we like and click OK. And I have some text that I have created already, so I'm gonna go ahead and paste the text that I want.
Oh yeah, inside edge gets away again. 13 for none. Sankar's on to 11 off 13, but it's been a struggle though. So fluent in the test matches. He hit the ball, especially off the pads. The moment it was straight, he was putting them away. But here we also saw a while ago, Amir, his weakness seemed to be the straight one. Why is it red ball, white ball, and then suddenly your strengths and weaknesses are slightly different?
To answer your question, when you talk about his test match performances, he was always looking to play in the V, and hence whenever there was an ill-directed delivery, he was able to clip them. And if you have a look at this replay, in ODIs, he's looking to hit everything through the offside, especially square, and he's edged it. First blood drawn. Badushka, once again a vigil.
Smartly taken by Shanto, because that was flying. But then again, Tanzim, he's been superb. Sometimes he gets the ball to bounce a lot more than you'd expect, because he's a short chap comparatively. Line length, so good. The breakthrough that Bangladesh needed. Ishan Madushka, another failure for him in the series. It was a fabulous opportunity. He's gone for one. Sri Lanka 13 for 1.
Kusal Mendes. Oh, he wasn't aggressive in the previous outing. But how about this wicket? Extra bounce. But when you talk about openers, there are two prerequisites. One, awareness of the off stump, and also ability to play the ball off the back foot. Once he commits on the front foot, there is no backward movement. He just hangs it back away from the body, and he's been dismissed quite a few times now. I mean, he hasn't displayed those qualities so far in this series, which is very important for an opener.
Off the mark straight away. You're bowling that shot, try and get it up at his throat.
See, it's very important for a top order batsman to possess these kind of strokes, an ability to play the ball off the back foot, especially against faster bowlers. And if you have these strokes, you will ramp up the pressure on the bowlers. And not the first time he has employed that stroke against Tanzim. We saw plenty of strokes, such strokes played during the innings played at Colombo by Kusal Mendes.
He was in blistering form. Got to 50 off 20, then slowed down, and once he was dismissed, the Sri Lankan batting was just strangled out of a win.
Yeah, he scored 50 from 20 deliveries, and then to get to 56, he had to consume 11 more deliveries. I think that there was a break in the stride, and that's why he was dismissed. And the credit went to the spinners. Oh, it was a rollicking innings from him. From the word go, he was in a belligerent mood.
It looked so simple when he was out there. Lanka were racing away. There were 75 in 10 overs. The second fastest 50 in ODI cricket for him. 19 was his quickest. The 50 of 19 came in this particular venue. That was in 2024. Bangladesh should believe they've got that early wicket. Keep
বড় ছোট করা যাবে। এটাকে আমি দেখলাম, ওকে। ফিল্ড ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে। আবার ওই ডানের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দিই। ফিল্টারে আমি নিচের দিকে নিয়ে আসি, একদম নিচে নিয়ে এসে বড় করে দিই। বিজ্ঞাপন আঁকা, কিন্তু লেখাটা কি হচ্ছে, স্ক্রল হচ্ছে না। আমি স্ক্রল করব লেখাটাকে, তাহলে অ্যাডটাকে আবার ক্লিক করে, অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দিই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি, ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, দিয়ে ওকে করে দেবো। দেওয়ার পর এখানে দুটো অপশন আছে, ভার্টিক্যাল এবং হরিজন্টাল স্পিড। এখন এই হরিজন্টাল স্পিড আমি দেখি এইদিকে যাই তাহলে বাম দিক থেকে ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে, আবার যদি ডান দিকে নেই তাহলে কি ডান দিক থেকে বাম দিকে আসতেছে। তাহলে এটা আমার স্পিডটা নির্ভর করবে কতটুকু দূরে দিচ্ছি, কত আস্তে জোরে, এটা সব আমি এখানে স্লো করে দিলাম। দিয়ে এটাকে বাংলা লিখতে গেলে কি করতে হবে, এখানে বাংলা ফন্ট সিলেকশন করে দিতে হবে। সটনি নিকোশবান কোথায়, একটু নিকোশবান। সাইজটা আমি 36 দিয়ে দিলাম, রেগুলার, ওকে। এখন আমি লিখবো এখানে আমার নাম লিখি, রুকনুজ্জামান ট্রেড ইন্সট্রাক্টর, ইলেকট্রিক্যাল, কালার, ওকে। এখানে লেখার নিচ দিয়ে আমি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার দেব। ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার এটা আগে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড অপাসিটিটা 100 করে দিই। ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার আমি দিলাম হলুদ, ওকে। ওকে দিই। এখানে আছে লেফট আছে, লেফটে এটা দিয়ে হলো সেন্টার, ওকে। এখন এই লেখাটাকে আমি নিচের দিকে নিয়ে আসি, একদম নিচে নিয়ে এসে বড় করে দিই। বিজ্ঞাপন আঁকা, কিন্তু লেখাটা কি হচ্ছে, স্ক্রল হচ্ছে না। আমি স্ক্রল করব লেখাটাকে, তাহলে অ্যাডটাকে আবার ক্লিক করে, অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দিই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি, ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, দিয়ে ওকে করে দেবো। দেওয়ার পর এখানে দুটো অপশন আছে, ভার্টিক্যাল এবং হরিজন্টাল স্পিড। এখন এই হরিজন্টাল স্পিড আমি দেখি এইদিকে যাই তাহলে বাম দিক থেকে ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে, আবার যদি ডান দিকে নেই তাহলে কি ডান দিক থেকে বাম দিকে আসতেছে। তাহলে এটা আমার স্পিডটা নির্ভর করবে কতটুকু দূরে দিচ্ছি, কত আস্তে জোরে, এটা সব আমি এখানে স্লো করে দিলাম। দিয়ে এটাকে ওকে হয়ে গেল আমার স্ক্রল ক্লোজ। আমার লেখাটা আমার এদিক দিয়ে যাচ্ছে, নিচ দিয়ে স্ক্রল করে। তো এই পর্যন্ত। পরের টিউটোরিয়ালে আমি কিভাবে এটা এইখানে লেখার নিচ দিয়ে আমি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার দেব। ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার এটা আগে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড অপাসিটিটা 100 করে দিই। ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার আমি দিলাম হলুদ, ওকে। ওকে দিই। এখানে আছে লেফট আছে, লেফটে এটা দিয়ে হলো সেন্টার, ওকে। এখন এই লেখাটাকে আমি নিচের দিকে নিয়ে আসি, একদম নিচে নিয়ে এসে বড় করে দিই। বিজ্ঞাপন আকার, কিন্তু লেখাটা কি হচ্ছে, স্ক্রল হচ্ছে না। আমি স্ক্রল করব লেখাটাকে, তাহলে অ্যাডটাকে আবার ক্লিক করে, সরি, একটাকে অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দেই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি, প্লাসে ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, দিয়ে ওকে করে দেবো। দেওয়ার পর এখানে দুটো অপশন আছে, ভার্টিক্যাল এবং হরিজন্টাল স্পিড। এখন এই হরিজন্টাল স্পিড আমি দেখি এইদিকে যাই তাহলে বাম দিক থেকে ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে, আবার যদি ডান দিকে নেই তাহলে কি ডান দিক থেকে বাম দিকে আসতেছে। তাহলে এটা আমার স্পিডটা নির্ভর করবে কতটুকু দূরে দিচ্ছি, কত আস্তে জোরে, এটা সব আমি একটা স্লো করে দিলাম, দিয়ে এটাকে ওকে হয়ে গেল আমার স্ক্রল ক্লোজ। আমার লেখাটা আমার এদিক দিয়ে যাচ্ছে, নিচ দিয়ে স্ক্রল করে। তো এই পর্যন্ত। পরের টিউটোরিয়ালে আমি কিভাবে এটা লাইভ স্ট্রিম ফেসবুক পেজে করা যায় সেটা দেখাবো। তো আমার এই পর্যন্ত যতটুকু আমি করলাম, এতটুকু যদি ভালো লাগে তো চ্যানেলটিকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে বেল বাটন বাজিয়ে দিয়ে লাইক এবং কমেন্ট করবেন কোনো কিছু জানার থাকলে। তো ধন্যবাদ ভিউয়ার। ওয়ান, এই আমার নাম এই লেখা কালার দেবো, ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার এটা আগে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড অপাসিটিটা 100 করে দিই, ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার আমি দিলাম হলুদ। ওকে, ওকে দিই। এখানে ইয়ে আছে, কি আছে, লেফট আছে, লেফটে এটা দিয়ে হলো সেন্টার। ওকে, এখন এই লেখাটাকে আমি নিচের দিকে নিয়ে আসি, একদম নিচে নিয়ে এসে বড় করে দিই। বিজ্ঞাপন আকার, কিন্তু লেখাটা কি হচ্ছে, স্ক্রল হচ্ছে না। আমি স্ক্রল করব লেখাটাকে, তাহলে অ্যাডটাকে আবার ক্লিক করে, সরি, একটাকে অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দেই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি, প্লাসে ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, দিয়ে ওকে করে দেবো। দেওয়ার পর এখানে দুটো অপশন আছে, ভার্টিক্যাল এবং হরিজন্টাল স্পিড। এখন এই হরিজন্টাল স্পিড আমি দেখি এইদিকে যাই তাহলে বাম দিক থেকে ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে, আবার যদি ডান দিকে নেই তাহলে কি ডান দিক থেকে বাম দিকে আসতেছে। ট্রেড ইন্সট্রাক্টর, ইলেকট্রিক্যাল, মোবাইল 01736000221। এই পর্যন্ত আমি লিখলাম। এই লেখাটাকে কালার আমি চেঞ্জ করে দেব। কালার এইখানে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কালার এটা আগে আছে কেসেলকে আমি আবার ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দেই। একটাকে অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে একটাকে অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দেই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি। প্লাসে ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, বড় করে দিই। বিজ্ঞাপন আকার কিন্তু লেখাটা কি হচ্ছে, স্ক্রল হচ্ছে না। আমি স্ক্রল করব লেখাটাকে, তাহলে অ্যাডটাকে আবার ক্লিক করে একটাকে অ্যাডের উপরে আমি রাইট বাটন ক্লিক করে ফিল্টারে দেই। ফিল্টারে এখানে ইফেক্ট ফিল্টারে প্লাসে ক্লিক করি। প্লাসে ক্লিক করে এখানে স্ক্রলে ক্লিক করে দেবো, দিয়ে ওকে করে দেবো। দেওয়ার পর এখানে দুটো অপশন আছে, ভার্টিক্যাল এবং হরিজন্টাল স্পিড। এখন এই হরিজন্টাল স্পিড আমি দেখি এইদিকে যাই তাহলে বাম দিক থেকে ডান দিকে যাচ্ছে, আবার যদি ডান দিকে নেই তাহলে কি ডান দিক থেকে বাম দিকে আসতেছে। তাহলে এটা আমার স্পিডটা নির্ভর করবে কতটুকু দূরে দিচ্ছি, কত আস্তে জোরে, এটা সব আমি একটা স্লো করে দিলাম। দিয়ে এটাকে ওকে হয়ে গেল আমার স্ক্রল ক্লোজ। আমার লেখাটা আমার এদিক দিয়ে যাচ্ছে, নিচ দিয়ে স্ক্রল করে। তো এই পর্যন্ত পরের টিউটোরিয়ালে আমি কিভাবে এটা লাইভ স্ট্রিম ফেসবুক পেজে করা যায় সেটা দেখাবো। তো আমার এই পর্যন্ত যতটুকু আমি করলাম, এতটুকু যদি ভালো লাগে তো চ্যানেলটিকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে বেল বাটন বাজিয়ে দিয়ে লাইক এবং কমেন্ট করবেন কোনো কিছু জানার থাকলে। তো ধন্যবাদ ভিউয়ার।
passes the infield. Good luck to the fielders chasing it down.
Short and wide that time.
Into his 15th game at the Pallakali Stadium, Roshan, more than 800 runs, with average of more than 66 for Papu Nisanka. This is quality. Using the depth of the crease, making sure that he keeps his eye line but where the ball was meeting the bat. And certainly his love story with Pallakali Stadium continues for Sri Lanka.
Amazing knowledge you have. Where do you get all this information? I mean, how do you carry all this information? Great information you got.
One and only, our stats guru, Azim Siddiqui. When he's on fire, he makes sure every detail is being covered.
Now, interestingly, Kusal Mendis has looked good, but he's been dismissed so far by Tanvir Islam in both the games so far. In that last game, I thought it was critical, that LBW, which turned the game. Particularly when Kusal Mendis was in such good form and he was striking the ball well. That was a massive moment in the game. Tanvir Islam striking at that point.
Twice, LBW same bowler. That will certainly work in Kusal Mendis' mind. And also Bangladesh have done their homework with the left-arm spinner bowling. Usually, you'll see the mid-off drop back, mid-on in the circle. It's the other way around in this way. First ODI, Mr. Straight one, from in front. The second, he came down the track. It was 2.8 meters. That was the difference. If it was more than 3 meters, it would have been with the batter. But certainly as a batter, Roshan, sometimes in a 3-match series, especially twice you get out to say the same bowler. It always works in your mind.
Beautiful, beautiful. The 50 is up with that drive. Didn't overhit it. You need to take a look at that. Just length into it. 50 for 1.
One last drive at home. It's going to be a war.
If it's a war he wants, it's a war he's gonna get.
Watch UFC 318, Sunday 20th July 5:30 a.m. live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
Four bowlers used. 3 T's at the top. Taskin, Tanzim and Tanvir. Mustafiz continues from round the wicket. And as you said, he's cut that angle a lot. He's looking to bring it back into the right-hander.
Beautiful shot. Mid-off was in the circle. For a left-arm spinner, usually you see mid-on in the circle, long off back. Bangladesh opting the other way around and paid the price there. The length was only slightly fuller. Remember, 2 overs ago, we spoke about bowling to Kusal Mendis when he's in full form. But the length, he picks it up early. Margin of error for a spinner or a fast bowler becomes very minimum when Kusal is seeing the ball pretty early.
Papu Nisanka, 24 of 28, but Kusal Mendis has been the man in a hurry. 6 fours and 3 fours for Nisanka. Into the 10th over, it's been a good power play for Sri Lanka. They did lose Nishan Maduska quite early, but this pair have looked to repair whatever damage it would have caused. But he's been good, hasn't he? Has been on the money around that off stump, back into the right-hander.
A contrast difference between these two players in the middle now, Mendis and Nisanka. 36 deliveries, dots. That's because of the early wicket of Nishan Maduska. And for certain reason, Roshan, when Nishan Maduska bats, the corridor of uncertainty around the 4th or stump back of the length is very vulnerable, and it's very much a bowling attack will attack him. That's been his downfall up in England when he lost the place in the test side. And he still continues. It's not addressed as yet. If he's to have a decent or a good international career, I feel he has to somehow overcome that particular length and line, which I feel is very vulnerable. And Taskin Ahmed with his arm action, bit of shape away from the right-hander, he just loves it.
Do you reckon leaving the ball a little bit more is better? Because he seemed to be committing a bit. So that's where he generally gets caught in the slips at the keeper. So should he make that conscious decision? Come back after this ball.
I think make a decision as soon as possible. Either you leave it or if not, throw the kitchen sink at it rather than poking at it. This has been, even in the first class system, in this game, the vulnerability just outside the off stump. Yes, most of the good batters around the world, that's somewhere that they'll struggle. But continuing the same mistake over and over again, and when you have competition like Avishka Fernando, in the squad waiting to get a chance, got to make sure you grab the opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, unfortunate for Nishan not firing in the 3 matches given to him. This was the big moment. Last ball. Very, very good over. 51 for 1.
Sony Sports Network presents Sports Car Blockbuster Season.
जी हाँ, तेज तर्रार क्रिकेट के लिए हो जाइए तैयार. Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane. Sony Sports Network mode. Sony Sports Network mode.
Well, that's a look at the Sri Lankan side, the ODI careers. 40 average for Nissanka. Janit Triyanage averaging at 45. I'm disappointed with Kusal Mendis. 35 is Kusal Mendis is averaging. He could do much more. Lanka at 43. Tanvir continuing.
Just a quick correction. Nishan Madhuska was dismissed by Tanzil Hassan Shakib. Rathan, even against Taskin Ahmed, who's poking outside the off stump, beat a couple of times. Very uncomfortable. All you need in a series decider, a solid start. That would have been the message by Sanat Jayaswali. But unfortunately, young man Nishan found one. He averaged 36 before the series. And all of a sudden, in 3 games, he's averaged down to 30.
A goal. See, on Nishan Madhuska, I think it takes he has it in him to fight back and come, because there have been times, I know he's gone through some tough times, but he's always fought hard. He's made those adjustments, managed to get back into the side. Good thing is he's in the radar of the selectors. Nice use of the feet. Only a single.
Sensible stuff by Pathum Nissanka. As soon as the ball reaches the eye level, comes down the track. Exactly what you need as batter. Just keep on building those singles rather than building dot deliveries. I like him a lot. A free-flowing player. When he's playing well, he picks up length early. He can be a basher up top. Technical bit of adjustment got to be made as soon as possible, Roshan. If not, I saw Avishka Fernando. There are players in the A side who's doing well. He's waiting for an opportunity. I think when it comes to the batting side, there are plenty of players around in the system.
Good question to you. You can answer it the next over. To speak about the technical challenges he has at the top with a new ball, with the faster bowlers. What about an option of maybe batting a little bit lower in the order? Wicket keeper batting a little bit lower if he has that deficiency against the fast bowlers, as you say. Maybe we can talk about it next over. Single of the last ball, 54 for 1.
One wicket out. Nishan Madhuska has gone for 1 of 6 deliveries. Nisanka and Mendes. Partnership of 47 deliveries. They're looking dangerous and looking solid at the moment. On Nishan Madhuska, Roshan answering your question. I think if he's playing in this side, he has to open the batting. Number 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's quite solid. And maybe coming to Mendes in the last 10 or 15 ODIs have not lived up to expectations in ODI cricket. So maybe something when it comes to being consistent. At number 4, you need a player to get back to coming to Mendes. But for me, Nishan, if he's batting, playing in the side, he has to bat in the top 3. At number 3, you have Kusal Mendes scoring runs. Pathum Nisanka on his leg on his own. The only spot left is the second opening spot.
I agree with what you say, but I was just thinking, I'm just thinking aloud about what you said in terms of where you spoke about fast bowling to find that outside edge and bowl that corridor. Mustafiz, on the other hand, has been very economical. Into the third over, just conceded 6 runs.
Keeping it really simple, Mustafiz, using all his experience, not trying to bowl too quick, wicket to wicket, line and length. Probably another 10 overs or so once the ball loses the hardness, bowling the cutters into the pitch. Miraj, probably for sure, will bowl his 10 overs. He's waiting for a wicket to go so that Kusal Mendes comes at number 4. The party coming to, and be a different story. Slow ball, deep square leg in place. Don't think he'll grab for it. Kanzi Masana thought he picked it up late. If he had chased it as soon as the ball made contact with the bat, would have been a different story.
Well, I thought he was deceived for sure. That's clever bowling. Pace off. Pathum Nisanka looking to go over mid-wicket. Was certainly done by that slower delivery. Very lucky that the man at square leg had a lot of ground to cover. Very nearly just what Bangladesh wanted. Into the pitch, slower delivery. Look where he's trying to go. And this time he will get a single. What happened really was lack of pace allowed him. He was waiting for pace to hit it to mid-wicket, but lack of pace. He was through with the shot a bit early. So he just dragged it. That's what happened. So dragged it more towards square leg. He was aiming more mid-wicket.
Excellent bowling. Consider Hassan Shakib, I thought he picked it up late. And Mustafiz, he does it really well. He's a bowler who gets the slow ball to die on the batter soon. That can be the variable factor. I mean, Hassan Mahmood is bowling well, not finding place in the side. That's because Mustafiz, with the older ball, especially in the death overs, he becomes really important. He's been in the side or in the scene for a very long time. Hardly injured. He's always in the playing field. On the day one when he came and burst into the scene, the left arm cutters into the pitch was his go-to ball. And what, 10 plus years, he's still good at it.
Has been handy performer, no doubt. Mustafiz has been very reliable. Has been a workhorse for Bangladesh. Still continues from round the wicket. 4 singles in the over. Bangladesh managing to pull it back a little bit. 58 for 1.
सोनी स्पोर्ट्स के टीवी चैनल्स पर हमारी नई टीम
And the other unique thing about Kandy, I believe, is Kingdom. You could never enter Kandy without crossing the river. And it used to serve as a kind of a protective cordon during the days where the colonial powers would look to attack and take over the Kandyan kingdom. So lots of history about the Mahabali River and the Kandyan kingdom, the last kingdom of Sri Lanka.
Shoot a couple of runs, or probably more. Yeah, it's much more. Only slightly shorter. And first boundary after 22 deliveries behind square and brings up the 50 partnership between Nissanka and Mendes.
Yeah, waiting for it and playing it late. And down behind point. Beautifully done. Use the pace of the ball as well. That was in the mid-80s. More the width, really. Welcome boundary for Sri Lanka. That rate of scoring now above 5 again. There was a time that it was hovering under 5.
Good ball, good ball.
65 for 1. Partnership of 52 or 59.
Yeah, Kusal Mendes is a player. When he gets into form, he picks up play and scores runs easily, especially in the power play. When it comes to Kusal Mendes in this series and since 2023, against pace, when he's slightly short or back of the length, he picks it up early and plays the horizontal shots pretty well. Only has to be slightly short of a player like Kusal Mendes, back of the length in that little arc, in that box. You bowl at him, the second ODI, you go for runs. And this is since 2023. 136, 146 is the average. That's because of the short nature of his height.
Cricket. He seemed to be working.
Probably digging the numbers about my stakes, you know.
Maybe she's just going through the Sri Lanka cricket app.
Checking.
Cricket. He seemed to be working.
Probably digging the numbers about my stakes, you know.
Maybe she's just going through the Sri Lanka cricket app.
Checking.
Cricket. He seemed to be working.
Probably digging the numbers about my stakes, you know.
Maybe she's just going through the Sri Lanka cricket app.
Checking.
Needed to break that partnership. Let's have a look at this. Maybe no bad, but definitely outside the lineup of immediate shake of the head. But good bowling here by Tanvir Islam. Kamindu going forward now, half stop there. Bit of a yes and no. Could have been trouble, sent back eventually. Ends the over, 69 for 2. The big match, the decider of this series. Sri Lanka winning the toss, batting first, have lost the second wicket in the last over.
Yeah, he has to prove himself, Kamindu Mendes. He's been prolific in test matches, but find himself out of place in shorter format. Maybe he has to change his mindset. He has to become more positive. In the previous over, there was a good news for Bangladesh.
Indeed, and this was it. He tried to sweep, to maybe just a little bit of extra bounce in the process. He got it on the upper part of the bat, and Pervez Hussain was not going to miss out on those simple takes. Massive wicket, because it's hard work for the bowlers. Taskin Ahmed now does manage to beat the bat, coming from the other end for his second spell.
This is good captaincy from Mehdi and Miraj, bringing his premier bowler back into the attack, looking for another wicket to amplify the pressure on Sri Lankan batters. This important tie, series decider.
It's so nice to see the crowds filling up the grassy banks here at Pallekele. Either side of the square, we've got the grassy banks. That was the call straight away, and that is the pressure building again. 3 dot balls.
In ODI cricket, is all about tethering batters. If you can string few dot deliveries, that ramps up the pressure, and then you force the batsman into taking life in their own hands.
Well, now he's struggling, and he keeps it. Taskin Ahmed has been very economic since 2023. He's been by far the best amongst pacers in the world in ODI cricket.
Yeah, it's not all about flaunting pace as a fast bowler. You have to use it intelligently. He's come of age, that's for sure. Yeah, the current run rate 4.4 is going to build up that pressure on the Sri Lankans, particularly Kusal Mendes, who started off with a bang, now has clipped that away, but it's going to find the fielder. Just the single. Runs being dried out here by some accurate bowling by Taskin Ahmed. He's feeling the heat, you can see that. Rested in the second ODI to manage his physical abilities. Are you referring to weather or some tight bowling?
Just tight bowling.
Okay. Just because of the weather, I suspect after this over, there'll be time for players to hydrate themselves. There has to be a break. It's the 16th over.
Oh, didn't know very much about that. Inside edge. Trickles away. They get a fortunate single to finish an excellent over by Thaskin Ahmed. It's 71 for 2. And also it's going to be time for that drinks interval you're talking about.
Yeah, Sri Lankan Cricket Board keeping abreast of contemporary demands. Smartphones era, and you have to bring something smart and smarter. He needs to be smarter to survive in this format. Kamindu Mendes, he really needs to establish himself.
Yeah, he needs to establish himself, but what he also needs to do first is ensure that he doesn't give any opportunities. And by that, I mean to get his concentration back. After any kind of break, we've noticed that there is some kind of lapse in the momentum particularly built up by the batters. Kusal Mendes will have to be careful about that to get his focus back.
Well, it happens, but at the moment there is no momentum as far as Kusal Mendes is batting. Yes, he started off with a few boundaries, but after that, he's been shackled. Not only we have seen some good bowling from Bangladeshis, but how about fielding? Not afraid to throw their bodies line and save many runs.
And that's the support you need to give your bowlers. Just so uplifting. The spirit of a bowler when he sees a good piece of fielding and the effort given in the deep, that just works wonders. Now, step forward, initial thrust forward, then has to come back when the bowlers just drops it a touch short.
That's how you deal with quality spinners. The forward press helps you get back on the front foot and maneuver the length.
And he gives the ball some air, enticing the batter. Nicely easing into that chop, into the deep, just for the single. I'm just wondering, Amir, when Mehdi Hasan Miraj, the skipper, might consider giving Tanveer Islam a bit of a rest into his 6th over, bowling exceedingly well, so the temptation will be there to keep him on maybe for another 1 or 2.
Yeah, there are plenty of options for the captain. Shamim really bowled well, not you. Shamim Patwari. Good usage of the feet. Made the batsman gain on that occasion. That was an elegant stroke from Kamindu Mendes.
It was indeed, and breaking the shackles. They had a boundary for a while, and look at this lovely shimmy down the wicket. Gets to the pitch, nicely behind it. Didn't try to hit too hard. That's the placement. Perfectly done. So pleasing to the eye. That will lift Sri Lankan spirit. It's need to build up a solid partnership. Bangladesh, on the other hand, look to get another one quick. Just pulling it back ever so slightly in terms of length. Simple tuck away for another single. Yeah, Tanveer, I just suspect after seeing that boundary being hit and the manner in which they're negotiating him, might just be given a rest. Wait and see. Yes, and Miraj himself did so very well, as you mentioned, Amir. But the backup going can dry out the runs. And another single to finish off that over. 79 for 2. It's been that dot, the blue dot, which has not really allowed Sri Lanka to travel smoothly. A couple of wickets down, 4.65. The bowling has been accurate. Short. That look at that fielding we're talking about. The support given. That was a hit me ball. The fielder did very well.
And that can be confidence booster for the bowlers. If they know they'll be supported by the fielders when they ball an ordinary delivery, they can get their focus back and they can start bowling with a big heart.
Well, that kind of feeling helps Ruskin to maintain that best economy rate I was mentioning a short while earlier. How good he has been. When he doesn't take the wickets, he drives out the runs. Look at it. Since 1st January 2023, minimum of 150 over, Taskin Ahmed leads the pack with 4.87. 46 wickets to boot. Got big names there. Matt Henry, Kagiso Rabada, Josh Hazelwood, Mohammad Siraj. But he is enjoying that economy spell.
Yeah, he's a luxury to have in your lineup. Not only economical, but threatening too. He had that ability, especially shorter format, to keep the batsman quieter and then send them back.
And he's bowling within himself. You can see 134, 131. Those are the speeds. He can generate pace, but he assesses the requirement of the wicket. The heat here, it's really muggy.
He got the smarts now.
Sure has. You've got to be smart. Once again, back of a lane does not really allow the batter to either go forward or go deep into his crease. And with this kind of pace, it's not going to be easy to try and take him on. Containment here, done brilliantly by Taskin Ahmed.
You know, in yesteryears, if you compare the scale of now and of yesteryears, he was not committed to every delivery. At times he used to go through the motions, but now he commits himself. Fully. Now where he is going to land the ball, to which batsman. He wasn't in control, looked like thick inside edge, good enough to take the ball over the boundary line.
Well, some relief for the Sri Lankan supporters, but as you said, not the most convincing. It was just inside part of the bat, but he put it away in an area where it was difficult for the fielders to get to it, and thus the boundary.
You think he was intending to hit the ball there?
No, not at all. Intending to hit it much more forward of square. The inside part, but lucky runs, and they'll take it, Sri Lanka. Good comeback delivery to finish the over. 84 for 2. Bangladeshi bowlers have done well in the heat, restraining the Sri Lankan batters, and as anticipated, the change in the bowling. The skipper comes on. He bowled wonderfully well in the previous game. 111 wickets, just a 4 for 25.
Yeah, he picked up a wicket in the last game after 5 matches. But he's been bowling very well consistently. The first delivery went into the gap once again. Good fielding at the boundary line. It was Shamim Patwari.
It was 1 for 37 in the previous game, and that was Luzner to start off with. Short was onto it in a flat cut silver round. Again, bit of a doubt for the second run. Eventually the ball arrives. There's a good take. Once again, the fielding, the commitment shown by Bangladesh has been of high quality. That's the way to come back after you lose first ball.
That was clever bowling. Length was the same, trajectory was the same, but line slightly towards off stump, and also angling the ball away from the right-hander. That's too easy.
Yes, too straight. It's a line he wants to avoid. Basically, need to bowl it outside the line of the off stump, get it to turn in. Not that we've seen too much evidence of purchase of the wicket. Essentially, got to make sure the batter is not given the freedom to either come inside out or go on to the off stump and sweep the ball. And with the left-right combination, he'll have to just come around, change of angles. Yeah, no turn, and it's that arm ball heading straight in. That might be a dilemma for the batters. Wondering when is it going to start gripping? Into the 19th over? Ball hasn't really done anything off the track in terms of turn. Keeps on bowling them straight. Keeps on allowing the singles to be taken.
If you don't allow batters to score more than 5 runs, temporary ODI cricket, as a bowler, you're doing a fine job. Or wide, been called by the umpire.
Kusal Mendes, you're talking about the players drying out the runs, the bowlers. Last 25 balls, or 26 now. Just the 14 runs. He started off with a bang. He's hitting the balls to all parts of the ground. Pressure must be building. It's to be seen how he rides that pressure out and absorbs that pressure. 90 for 2. Bangladeshi bowlers have not really allowed the Sri Lankan batters to take advantage. No big tall buildings so far. They'll be pretty content because it is a pitch which is a little bit tilted towards the batters. Eases into that one, but just quickly enough, that extra cover stops that ball from going through. He hasn't hit a boundary for quite a while now. Must be. Just inside, he must be brewing that I've got to go big one of these deliveries.
Yeah, the bowler has to sense that the frustration is creeping in. The mind of the batter. Do not try and overdo things. Keep it simple. Keep on landing the ball in the right areas. That was a gift. That was a gift. He was looking for that land and got that and was ready for it.
And the smile breaks out. Smile of relief for Kusal Mendes. Boundary after 27 balls that he's faced. But it was there to be hit. A simple, switched up, right through the line, easy as they come.
Yeah, it was aforementioned. You don't have to over-try as a bowler. Just keep on landing the ball in the right areas, back of the length. That's where he faltered. Increase the length, and Kusal Mendes is too good a batsman to miss out on those ones.
Nice comeback. It's just that little bit, just 6 inches shorter than the previous one, does the job. There you see, he's pat shorter, gets him on the front foot, tries his best. Umpire takes evasive action, but there is cover. Sensible cricket. You're talking about the change in the manner in which Tashkent Ahmed bowls in the recent past. Maturity, understandably, and a realization that he's got to bowl within himself because of injury concerns.
Yeah, decrease in length, about 6 inches or increase, makes a huge difference.
And that was shorter. That was there for the taking. Once again, not quite timing that with nicety, but it was there to be hit. So a little tardy in this over from Taskin Ahmed.
Yeah, the idea was good from Taskin. He's been pitching the ball back of the length. Batsmen were anticipating the ball there. Tried to surprise the batter with a bouncer, but did not rear up. Deciding to bowl round the stumps to the left-hander, Taskin.
Ice creams and lots of water. That's what you need on a hot, muggy day like this. Comes around. Keeps it quiet. It is Kamindu on strike. Sea is soaking wet. It's a quiet, slow walk back to the top of the bowling ground, conserving energy.
Drenched in sweat. Skin. They change the shirt.
A grunt for a good delivery. 95 for 2. Well, he's into his swings and rhythms. Such a lovely ground, the Palakal International Stadium. In the distance, the hills, mountains around. The PA system blaring out the music.
It is just a number. But to have a young heart, enjoy life.
Absolutely.
You do too. You like to team up with life, Shameen?
Short. Now, this is going to go along the ground to deep back to square, just for the single. Opportunity, I think, for the batter. Maybe played a little squarer into the gap to take more runs.
It's surprising for me, batsman brought up on such surfaces doesn't play that sweep, conventional sweep. He does employ that slot sweep, Kusal Mendes, but not the conventional one. That's a good one from Kamindu Mendes. 100 of the ball with that boundary.
Yeah, that was always going to be punished. Just short enough from Miraj, giving him ample opportunity to rock back. He's happy with that boundary. There you see just that shortness of the leg, rocking back and placing it wide of the fielder. No chance there. Very nicely struck.
Yeah, but using his feet, he has created that fear in the minds of the bowler. Hence, they are looking to dart the ball in. The pace was up on that occasion. Better delivery. Slightly slower.
The Sri Lankans, what they've done very well. There have been periods of play when they've been got balls piling up, but once in a while they've just released the pressure with boundaries. Not similar to the last one day when they got completely bogged down.
You're only human, Shameen. You're a hard taskmaster.
I'm just giving them credit, my friend. They're doing well. They just...
Now, there was a hint of complaint, which was spotted.
You would. Once again, but the boundary has been there in the over, so they can afford to take it easy.
Boy, number 3, boy. He has softened up, Shamim. Oh, close, given. Well-directed delivery, kept low, didn't get up to the batsman's liking, and he perishes.
Wow, that was a quick delivery. I don't think he's going to bother to take the review. The big strike, Bangladesh, really doing well. He's not too happy, but exactly at 100, this is what happened. Kept on, kept it at low, played over, and it was pretty much in front. No problem for the umpire. Up went the dreaded finger, and Miraj gets that wicket. It's Kamindu Mendes who has to take the long walk back. 16 he's got, and Sri Lanka 100 for 3.
Timely blow. That's what Bangladesh have been able to do this game. Charita Lanka is the new batter. Danit Lienage will follow him, and then it's Dunit Wellalage. Got the right approach as an opposition. Good batting conditions. It'll stay like that right throughout the game, that's for sure. Therefore, you got to keep attacking. This was quicker. Much quicker than the previous deliveries, and Kamindu Mendes' somewhat indifferent form in ODIs continue. Just not able to match the high standards and numbers that he's achieved in Test cricket. Miraj strikes. Fast bowlers from one end, the spin from the other. Tanzim Hassan Saqib picked up the wicket of Nishan Madhushka. He's back in for his second spell. Now this is the partnership that Bangladesh would want to break very quickly, Fariz.
Just before I come to that, Kamindu Mendes after scoring the boundary in the second delivery, 3-dot deliveries and then the last ball wicket. I think this is the message to the players to come. As you score a boundary, try and get a single, rotate the strike rather than getting bogged down in an end. That's where the Mendes was leading up to the game when it comes to average. Not the greatest batting at number 4. Missed a golden opportunity. And I think, answering your question, Russell, it's a massive partnership. Former captain, Charita Lanka, the present captain, these two players have been the mainstays in the ODI side. Kusal Mendes is batting really well. Charita Lanka, we all know what he can do on his day. I like to see the Bangladesh perspective. Try and get a slip field lane place. Open up the mid-wicket. Get a slip or a gully. And get Tanzim Hassan Saqib to bowl that 4th off-stump line and try and attack him. Not straight, just outside the off-stump.
On his way. That's easy pickings. They've been good though. Just bowling in short spells and making it hard for the Sri Lankans. Just chipping away. That's what you can say that Bangladesh have been doing.
In 21.3 overs which Sri Lanka has batted so far, 75 dot deliveries. 12.3 overs of dot deliveries, and still Sri Lanka has managed to score at 4.74.
ODI, this could be tight. Clumsy all round. Sri Lanka get the single they were looking for.
It was Kusal's call. The ball went to mid-on in front. It's usually the striker's call. Charita Salanka, for some reason, wasn't comfortable. Go for the single, set away, no. Visible in the end, and the wicketkeeper Jakarali got into an awkward position. His throw wasn't at first bounce, which Jakarali thought it's going to be.
Pitched on the edge of the turf and skids off hard for Jakarali.
Yes, at the moment, Maithis and Miraj attacking Charita Salanka with 5 in the offside, 4 in the leg side. Early on, Charita Salanka against fast bowlers. Can he be a bit vulnerable just outside the yaw stump? Probably missing a trick, especially in Pallakele pitch. Usually gives you as a fast bowler some awkward bounce on a good length, some movement if it's available. So those lines for me are too straight for a new batter. 103 for 3.
Kusal Mendy's on 48. Correction, 49. Lanka been dominant at home for quite a while, and that's why this game is a pressure match. Could feel the nerves with Bangladesh clawing themselves back into the series. Bangladesh have won only 3 games in Sri Lanka. In 26 games here in Pallakele. 2 previous games, 1 each. But in terms of series at home, the last 5 years, Sri Lanka have won 10 out of 12. The only loss being against India in 2021. Clever. That's playing the field really, really well.
Playing the field well, Charita Salanka. There was only field outside the circle in the leg side. That was deep square, like in front of square. Yeah, it was slightly risky straight up, but the ball was turning away. In the end, it's a safe shot. Up at the R. Premadas in the second ODI, almost a similar field. Charita Salanka against Mendias and Miraj, who had been on in the circle. Played with the ego of the batter. Usually Charita Salanka loves to go over mid-wicket, loves to go over long on. He was challenged in the previous game. In the end, he held out to mid-on, and similarly today, Mendias and Miraj has got the mid-on in the circle. I think it's going to be Tistaskin Ahmed, the tallest in the field. Horses for courses. I like the way Mendias and Miraj thinks.
That's bouncing. Sri Lanka looking for that single. The ball, for me, it's holding just a wee bit and bouncing. It's not on the slower side, but it's not one of those pitches that's skidding through. Tennis ball bounce, fair to say?
Yeah, Sanjeev Gamage will be out there for a concussion test on Charita Salanka as this hits the arm and hits the throat or the visor. The last game we were talking about, and the Premadasa made on in the circle. Got the length delivery of Shamim Hossain and straight to Tanvir Islam. Most teams against Charita Salanka will like Sito mid-wicket long on, have it behind Petrol in the boundary, not with Mendias and Miraj. In similar field settings, Sanjeev Gamage will be doing a couple of tests. It should be okay. Wasn't that hard. The ball hit his grill or the throat. This is a big innings for Sri Lanka. Being a captain, never lost to Bangladesh at home a series.
Looking at Sri Lanka's approach in the previous two ODIs to this, slightly cautious, I would think. Waiting for the loose balls. But what we wait for in Sri Lanka is these beautiful pictures in various parts of the island. 1 hour drive, you get to experience very different terrains. Asalanka's all right. We're good to go. Over number 11 to 40, only 4 fielders. A maximum of 4 allowed outside the circle, and Bangladesh have those 4. At a very fine square leg. In wicket, the point on the boundary and long off. Nicely bowled by Mehdi. 108 for 3. Nothing too big, but pretty consistent, those towers. Tanzim for his second over this spell. That will be 50. Kusal Mendes. A very different knock to the previous day, previous game, where he got his 50 of 20 balls. Here he takes 58 deliveries. That's quick as well. 7 fours. His 35th 50 in ODIs and his 6th against Bangladesh. But he's got to make sure he cannot throw it away like a couple of days ago.
Timely knock, responsible knock. Just the start. He knows the job is not done yet. Seeing the ball really well is important. That he partners Sri Lanka. Starting a little good. Good batting. Good batting. Should be a couple of runs here with the ricochet.
They'll get the extra run. Good bit of fielding. But it comes back to her. When Chanto forces the umpire, you have a look. You never know how close these can be. But there's no real excitement from the fielders. Square of the wicket. The bowlers, the fielders, they're all...
Run out review. Review for run out. At the batting end. The bat is grounded before the bails are off. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
That was a pretty easy decision. No wonder, no excitement at all. Everyone's ready to go. The crowd building. Nice cool breeze. That will be good to have. Oh, beauty. That was a beauty. I think that dragged away ever so slightly.
Facing the fielder at mid-wicket. Enough movement to keep the bowler interested. Zipped away from the left hand, squared him up. Beautiful length, good pace at 134.7 by Tanzim. Right throughout the series, the aggression is top-notch. Hannibal, fourth umpire, just keeping a close eye on the proceedings.
Gets the edge. Bowling well. He really is.
Picked up the length early. We spoke about his hawk package in the previous stint. Anything shot into his body, he just loves it, especially when he's in good form.
Eight off that over. 106. Lanka battling hard, making sure they're holding wickets and accumulating runs. Kusal Mendis is leading the charge for the moment, giving Lanka some time to play himself in. He's been brilliant, Lanka, of late. Again, a slight hold up. Mediasan Miraj will continue. But the big wicket of Kamindu Mendis.
Kusal from the word go. First ball, put it away towards square leg. Ever since then, he's looked so controlled. Very powerful, anything short or full. Top of his game. Picking up length early. Loving the pace off the pitch. His love story, batting at Pallakale, continues. Into the 25th over. So 5 bowlers used. Does have the option of Shamim Hussain, who bowled well in the last game. I thought in the middle overs he made sure that the breaks were put in. 9 overs, 1 for 22. The second ODI. So that's an option since a left hand is in the middle for Mediasan Miraj to bring Shamim Hussain. Maybe once Tanzil Hasan Shakib is finishing with his spell.
That is a wonderful shot. I think Mendis with the 3 in the deep on the leg side and not much turn for Medi, trying to give himself room, trying to pick the gap on that offside. I think for the first time I saw a bit of grip there. You can look at shots like this all day long. Everything is Maha around here. The Mahaveli River, the Mahayava, and then there's Maharoof. Yava and Maharoof there as well.
You forgot Mahanura, the real name.
That's outside the line. Good early call from Mendis, and hence not a problem in getting across.
Slight appeal in the non-striker's end. The ball hit Charita Asalanka probably in his back or the bat and hit the stumps. Yes, the bowler was appealing for the LBW. Field at short, fine leg, threw the balls toward the non-striker. Hit Charita Asalanka, and somehow the ball ended up in the stumps. There's the LBW shout outside the line. Charita Asalanka is crossing for the single and hits him probably in the hamstring and ricochets to the stumps. How unlucky that would have been if it was run out.
Brilliant.
Well in, well in. 4 singles. Off the 25th over, Sri Lanka won 20 for 3. Batting to come. That's Janit Lianagest. really hard to try to get Sri Lanka over the line. The second ODI, but fell short. Velalage, Hasaranga, Theekshana, the three spinners, the main spinners in the Sri Lankan team. Mantha Chamira and Asitha Fernando, the two seamers. Charita Salanka at the toss said 280. He'd like that score to defend. Mustafizur Rahman back for his second spell, a very good first spell. Your thoughts on that, Maha?
Bowled well, came round the wicket straight away to the right-handers, Pathum and Kusal Mendis, cut down the angle outside the off stump, bowled wicket to wicket on the back of the length, used all experience Mustafiz. Since 2015, when it comes to the most wicket by fast bowlers, the two players from the subcontinent of the Asia in this top 5, one Mustafiz, second is Jasprit Bumrah. 175 wickets for Mustafizur Rahman. Shows the dominance with the ball, especially in the depth as well as in the middle overs, bowling those cutters into the pitch.
Your thoughts on the score, Maha?
I reckon 280. One of these players got to bat out till about the 45th over. There are a couple of things that think tank may do just to change things up if they feel things aren't going according to the plan. Still to come, Janit Vinage, Velalage, as well as Manidu Hasaranga. That's batting deep into the lineup of Sri Lanka. But Janit Vinage is a player who plays the finisher's role. It takes a little while to settle down. So if these two batters bats through till about the next 10 overs, I don't mind just promoting Manidu Hasaranga, give him the license. Yes, he's not been in super form, but maybe the thinking pattern, the aggression can be shown with a promotion to Manidu Hasaranga and keep Janit Vinage to play the finisher's role. That's an option, but if these two continues, I don't see anything to be changed. But certainly they're thinking out of the box to get 280 on a pitch which is very good for batting. Sometimes can work in a series decider.
Hasaranga, feet up for the moment, staring at the sights around Pallekele. Since 2018 though, in ODIs at Pallekele, 9 times the team batting first has won. But on 7 occasions, 7 out of 9, the defended a score above 290. 280, 250 plus, just the once, and only once has a team won scoring less than 250. If you're looking at history and looking at this pitch as well, you'd think Lanka need to get close to 300. That would all depend on how well this partnership goes. They probably need to turn things around or turn things around the corner into the gaps and start picking up the pace. Wonderfully played by Mendis.
I thought that was a slow delivery tried by Mustafiz. Yes, 140.1 kilometers per hour. Confirmation. Rolled his wrist over it beautifully. Kusal Mendis. Back of the length for Kusal Mendis when he's in form. That's almost like a freebie. Yeah, into the pitch. Field at deep square leg is quite fine. And the fine leg field is quite square. So the gap wasn't that big. But still managed to bisect the gap perfectly, Kusal.
Too good. 4 dot balls and back-to-back boundaries just spoils the over for Bangladesh. 128 for 3. Well, quietly picking up the pace of Sri Lanka. Don't feel it because that's how well they are batting, especially Kusal Mendis.
First boundary, short, set up nicely, put it away. Another a slow delivery. This occasion, It's too full. Ball is when it's too full. It has no place for the ball to grip to get the outside edge. It becomes a freebie. Still, the attack against Charita Sri Lanka with mid-on in the circle continues. Just beautifully done. With the turn, nice high elbow, most importantly, at the last milliseconds, open the face of the blade to find the gap between extra cover and the mid-off.
No, I don't think he'll get that. Turned and bounced. They know how important this wicket is, and hence the discussion. Sri Lanka under pressure, he scores lots of runs. He has.